to the Vice Admiral, are there any early indications of what caused the Dalier to lose propulsion during its voyage? And what are some of the areas of focus so far when it comes to the investigation into the accident?
Yeah, I think we all want to know as quickly as possible at least some initial findings, but I really need to refer you to the National Transportation Safety Board and their messaging in terms of moving forward very deliberately and on a factual basis to uncover some of those answers.
Secretary Buttigieg, you talked about how the bridge simply was not built to withstand impact of this nature, but is it your view that the bridge was built strongly enough? Why didn't it have some of the defensive structures around the support column as many other bridges do?
Again, I don't want to get ahead of any investigation either. I will say that part of what's being debated is whether any design feature now known would have made a difference in this case. We'll get more information on that as the investigation proceeds.
Thank you. Secretary Buttigieg, you've been talking about the president vowing to pay for the cost of the bridge in full to expedite that rebuilding process, but are you going to go after the shipping company?
Any private party that is found responsible and liable will be held accountable. I think our emphasis and the president's goal is to make sure that that process is not something we have to wait for in order to support Maryland with the funds that they need. And that's what these emergency relief tools can help us do.
What could that accountability look like?
Again, I don't want to get ahead of law enforcement, NTSB, or any of the other players here, but needless to say, there's going to be a lot of focus on that. Anybody who is responsible will need to be accountable.
Rebuilding obviously won't be cheap, and you talked about possibly needing to give that supplemental request to Congress. How much money are we talking about?
Just too soon to say.
And just one question for the Vice Admiral. Admiral, when it comes to getting the situation cleaned up and recovery efforts, what are the biggest challenges that you're facing and the kind of equipment that you have to move in?
I think the main challenge here is, as you can see by the imagery on scene, is removing those large trusses and steel members off the bow of the ship. Once that happens, we'll have the underwater survey complete in terms of how that vessel is connected to the bridge pier there. But I think once that's done, I think the salvors will be ready to do the necessary actions to refloat that vessel and remove it.